Hello and welcome to Factorio on a Sunday. Hopefully I'm live. My internet seems to have been going up and down, up and down, up and down. But it looks like there's something going through on all the metrics. I think. I hope. Fingers crossed. We'll see. We'll see. So this is me continuing my blueprint. What were we calling it? I don't know. I haven't got a proper name for it yet. But my sort of blueprint development where I'm trying to make effectively a base in a book type of thing. It went really well yesterday. I wasn't actually feeling all that great. I was a bit hungover, if I'm totally honest. But it went really well. So we'll get the game loaded up. I did want to just test this screen out. Oh, there we go. That works. Oh. So basically this is so that when I'm starting streams and ending streams, I don't forget to do stuff. So basically this is the schedule. So that at least works. So I'll bring that up at the end, basically. I wanted to test whether it came through properly. Yeah, so let's get the game loaded up. I am playing with creative mode on. Creative mod mode on. No, that's wrong. Creative mode mod. Something like that. English words. Basically, what that does is it gives you a load of cheaty stuff. I'd completely forgotten. There are radars, cheaty radars. I was playing Dyson Sphere programs, so I'm all over the place with controls. Where are they? So here we go. We've got two cheaty radars, basically. The Super Radar, which is this one here, and the Super Radar 2. And what they do is they reveal a bigger chunk of the map. This is what I'd like to see in a base game. I'd like to see that you can extend the radar range, because normal radar range is like that. So this is Super Radar 2, and it's worth keeping one of these on for us. This is all the pollution from where I was messing about with the smelting. They're all gone. I've taken them all down. But yeah, so if we see any attacks or whatever, or this will let me see any attacks, or if the pollution gets out of control, sort of thing. The other radar, the red one, is why this is all revealed. That basically reveals a gigantic area of the map. So you can see that this was the 600% biter range. So basically they're miles away. So we should be okay. We shouldn't trigger any attacks. It's just inconvenient that if they come, it's not going to be a problem. Yeah. So basically, I've taken everything down apart from this is the plan for today. Is to put this thing together, the sort of kickstart base, basically. But I did do some fiddling about with the blueprints after the stream last night, so I thought it'd be worth just running through them. I mean, they're basically very, very similar. So we've just got the coal one there, and then this was a stone one. I accidentally... This chest wasn't capped. But also this, in the default blueprint, that needed to be pointing up, but I'd left it pointing down, so I just fixed that. What's next? That's unchanged. That's just your smelting. You can put them in... It's not a bad ratio, like 3 to 12, basically. Don't know why I did that then. But yeah, so that's your basic stone smelting to get you up and running, so that you can build. One of these, this is your Kickstarter coal. I did wonder on this one whether I should put the... in fact, let's put the pumps on. So one there. One there. I did wonder whether I should include the bell, but I decided against it because that allows you to rotate the blueprint rather than have to flip it, sort of thing. So this is your basic Kickstarter power, so it's got boxes for you to put coal in, because you won't really have much belt at that point. And these are two burner inserters. It just connects there, and then to use that you would obviously get rid of them, and then you flip it over to that one. And as I say, this works both rotated, so it's rotationally symmetric, as well as you can flip it in either direction. It doesn't matter, and it'll sort of work for what you want to do, basically. So you can then put in as big an array of power as you want, obviously up to the 20 limit, and then you would have to add the belt in, as I say. But it allows you to, you could do it one-sided and all that sort of stuff. That's why I went with a sort of a modular bit. I didn't really change any of that. That's obviously the wood burner. What you will notice, they're all in one book. I've decided what I'm going to do is we'll have just a book that I keep adding to. I'll sort it out later, basically, once it's all done. However I want to do it, but I'll archive them into my personal blueprints. And eventually I may put these on my website, but I don't really have a website at the moment, so I've got a domain but not the website. And then here's your basic power. So this is still pretty much as it was. This is the first bit to get your automation, and then you do that one, and that gives you, a bit more production power, as it were, for automation. And then you go to this one, which lets you put defences on it if you want. You don't have to, but you can do that. And then this one, plop over the top, and gives you the green science as well. There was I wouldn't call it an error, but I'd forgotten to put a light on there. But basically this is otherwise fine. So that's not really changed. The next one was obviously the pillbox one. That's unchanged. The mining, this has had a little tweak in that. So it's just a tileable one again, tiles in all directions. But it has been tweaked slightly on the next one, in that I'd forgotten to do the tiling, basically. So this one didn't tile like that. So it's now got that on it. And then obviously you've got your two balancers that I know how to do. There's also, I downloaded the book for all the belt balancers I've used before. I've forgotten the credit on that one, but it's in the Megabase series. These I then tweaked to get as well. I'm not massively happy with these as such. I'm thinking about maybe more tweaks. Because basically what I did, so this is unchanged. In fact, let's put a stop it flashing at us. So I'll put one of these on. GT power supply. So this is basically, so this one's unchanged. I didn't do anything to this. But the thing is, it's not really. If you then go to the next blueprint, you can't put it on top basically because it's an upgrade really more than a thing. So there's probably an argument for having an upgrade planner in the blueprint instead, or as well as, because you could obviously, depending on what you decide to do in your playthrough, you could go straight to steel furnaces. So you don't necessarily need to put down the stone furnaces. So I think it's worth having this version, even though it is literally more of an upgrade rather than a new blueprint. And of course you could put, maybe this is, you put down stone, you put down iron, copper and stone, and then later on when you're adding more iron, you put it down as steel furnaces. So, it gives you those options. I'm not against it from that point of view. What I'm not so keen on is this, because this still uses the medium power poles, whereas the next one, the fully upgraded one, uses substations. So it's fully powered with substations. So it's almost a complete redoing, and I'm not massively keen on that. It also, what I worked out, I was a bit surprised actually that you don't need very many beacons, because this is basically, you've got level 1 beacons in there, and it doesn't slow them down very much at all. It's minus 10%. So, you can stick beacons on it and sort of compensate, but you kind of need even less, You know, you need like, I suppose it would be, you know, level 1 speed modules, but you kind of don't even need them, as many as there are there. It's sort of, it can, because it's literally, there's 48, yeah, and that fills the belt. But if you literally add 2 more, it does, and that does, it won't fill the belt with level 1 prods in because of that 10% drop. But if you think about it, a 10% compensation on 50 is, you know, a couple of miners. So 2 extra miners would fill it. It's added this in because the other blueprint, that's not part of that one. So I'm sort of alright on it up to that point. It's then this one it's completely different. You know, I've not done the same power poles. So really what I should be doing is, you know, maybe putting power poles in. It also sticks out horribly here, this, you know, and that's more sensible. It's because I put them in. I didn't think about it. I put them in before I'd put these on. Sorry, I put those on before I'd worked out how many speed beacons you need. And essentially what the speed beacons do, and the other problem with this, it doesn't quite fill this lane. This isn't 100% full lane of you know, plates coming out. And the rest of it, I realised I could send over the top rather than do complicated and horrible things with, you know, underground belts. I could send around the side here, but then I realised I don't need very many of these at all. And actually I don't know if I've even got any. You know, an underground will go all the way. Oh, no, it doesn't quite go all the way across. That's interesting. But, you know, you could just put it there. Or something like that, you know. And then, obviously, you'd need to you know, that side would be that one, and this side would be this one, and what have you. So I don't need this much space, is what I'm saying. Which then, you know, means that actually I could tighten the whole thing up. You know, we don't need this to be 3. It can just be 2. But do I want to bother? It's, you know, it just means it would be slightly more compact, which is useful. You know, if you're trying to clear territory and stuff, having to have less space is, you know, not a bad thing. There's also the issue with stone in that stone, you wouldn't, if you're using this same array with stone, you would actually have to feed it with red belts, or only half the belts will run, because, not on the coal, that's the coal, sorry. You'd need to feed this with red belts. And then, you know, you couldn't get a blue belt out of it, because it's half the size, basically. So yeah, not massively happy with them as such, but I need to think what I want to do with them. We then got the defences. These are unchanged, basically. These seem to work fine. And then it goes there. Is that the corner? That's the corner. And this one here. And then we've got the alternative corner. And the extension for that. Yeah, I quite like these defensive ones. I think it's quite neat. So there we go. So that's sort of what all the tweaking that I did overnight. What we need to do is get these up and running, basically. And what I'm going to do, the key to it, I think, is to do it in a way that, because you would be using this. Oh, I haven't left it down. You'd be using, you know, that to... what I also discovered is you can power it like that. This has got its own, like, power weird thing. I don't quite understand why it turns it off. It's some weird quirk of the thing. There's no power. It's not generating power, but it thinks it's generating power. It's a bit weird. But yeah, so that you would be using this to tech up, you see. And so you would be unlocking more and more of these. So you wouldn't have... I mean, the other thing, I've put, you know, them there. But I've also got it on that thingy over there. So am I saying that you switch over? or is this more? Because walls are quite slow to produce. It's just that, you know, you've got a nice crop of things there that use stone brick. Is that? No, it's not stone brick. The other thing, I mean, the other thing with this, the old smelting, is steel. Now, I'm not sure what to do about steel. I say I'm not going to address that in this as such. In that, what I normally do is I take advantage of the whole 5:1 ratio thing when you're doing these, and I would have direct insertion between the two. So, you know, and I usually come up with some system where effectively, well, actually, let's just get rid of this. Like this. So, now, you know, basically, I usually do something. I do it in all sorts of ways, to be honest with you, because I'm very inconsistent. But effectively, you have, you know, them taking the steel, and then maybe, I don't know, like that. Oh. You know, and you've got your power poles here, sort of thing. Except that needs to be probably closer. And then basically it's passing it over, so then... so this would be, say, the raw stuff in the middle, maybe? I don't, you know, say... I do it all sorts of ways because I'm massively inconsistent with it. But, so that's the raw iron. Then they're both being fed by coal. And then this is maybe the steel coming out, sort of thing. But I say I do that in all sorts of different ways. You know, and that's then... flip like that. No, wrong flip. That flip. No, other way around. That way around. There we go. And so you're getting a belt of, you know, some steel out. But even when you do that, but the other option is always, you just do that and then you route the output out. So rather than, you know, have this be steel, rather than be iron, you just reroute this and have it feed into another one, another set of that makes steel basically, and it's just exactly. You can even do it. It's pretty easy. To do it like that, basically. So then, rather than this be raw ore, you know, you either, you know, dogleg it round, or you just sort of flip one of them over. So if we didn't do that, no. So if we just do a H, did that change anything? Don't appear to be changing anything. G, there we go. No, that's an upside down flip. F, there we go. So it's literally just the opposite way round. So now the input from this, sorry, the output from this becomes the input from this, and it's basically identical. And you can do it manually. You know, so it's just double the length, you know, and that's steel. And you just have to have, in order to get one belt of steel, you need 5 of these basically. But it's never going to produce a full lane out of here. So you can just, you know, stick them together however you want, really. It doesn't need to be a full-on 5:1 balancer. It will just sort of work itself out, really. So I don't know, you know, I don't know if I have a dedicated steel one, or, you know, I just assume that people will do something along those lines, you know. But that's for later, I think, or that's to think about. What I'm sort of anticipating with this is that, I say, we will build them so that you can build it left to right, essentially. So, although I've lined it up like that, you know, it's like, I mean, it won't be quite like that, but, you know, you can basically fill it out left to right and get the stuff that you need as you do the research. So, for example, these power poles, they can be on the far right. Not that sort of far right, but over on the right-hand side of the build, because, you know, you're going to have to unlock that technology. and so they're a later thing. But this needs to be one of the first ones because obviously it needs you're going to need loads of them to start with, just like boxes or something you're going to need straight away. What else? I guess furnaces is an instant need. You need them pretty early. You need them, but you don't need them. And there's always the question, with those, because you obviously use the lower level inserter to make them. So do we have, effectively 3 sets of inserters being made, and, turn them into those, or do we just have one, because you need to feed in cogs and what have you. So, we can do something like this and just put, these here. You get the idea. That one needs cogs, doesn't it? Yeah, so we could offset that. And equally, am I going to have a lane with cogs on it, or am I just going to make cogs every time that they're needed? Because the idea, it's not massive volume production. It's just a Kickstarter base to get you up and running. Okay, so because then we need to work out the production volumes, essentially, how much of everything we're making, and how much we need to feed in to keep it running. I guess we could think about it in terms of, so if we say, have a lane of that theoretically is going to be, iron plate, one that's going to be copper, and then I guess we need some kind of stone one, but is it a stone and stone brick? I mean, if this stone one that I've made here, how easy is it? So it'd be quite easy to get stone brick out of this, because you could just put, that and that and stick them together, essentially. But do I need raw stone? I do for the furnaces, don't I? Yeah. But then you're making furnaces here. This is again the question. Because what I could do instead, excuse me, is, could I? Would that work? Because you could upgrade these to electric miners. You could take that out, no problem. No, I think I'll make the assumption that what you do is you use that to just get you really, just started, and then you put actual, then you put actual mining on your stone patch. Yeah. So the feed-in will be stone here. And then where we need it, we'll convert it into stone brick. So we'll do that locally. Yeah. And then that minimises all you've got to do. Basically, you've got to feed in. So actually, what we really want is some kind of smelting of them. Yeah. And we need coal, obviously. Yeah, so they then get processed in possibly some sort of initial thing you make. And out of this comes, this is where we get the iron plate, copper plate. No, we'll make that a combined one. With stone brick. So it's sort of half and half. And then this has still got to be coal, because we need coal for grenades at the very least. Excuse me. But we also need some kind of steel. Yeah, I think I'll also do green circuits in this thing. So there's a little area making green circuits as well. Obviously these aren't the order that it's going to be in. But the idea is basically there's like part 1, which is the smelting, and a part 2, which is the production. Yeah. Yeah, I like that idea. So effectively them are gone. We're not going to make those locally, but I think cogs we'll just make locally. So what do we want first on the list? I think first on the list really needs to be these two. And the wooden boxes. Am I going to have enough room if I do that? If I move up here. Let's move these up here and out of the way. So that's probably a bit too far away, but there you go. And then the wooden boxes. And that's no, let's just do these to start with. So if that's just wires, yeah, okay. Okay, so you're going to need to put down. I'm just thinking, can I reuse that in some way for the medium power poles and stuff? But they don't take wires, do they? No. Okay. Oops. There we go. So basically we've got this, which needs wood and copper cables, and this, which just needs wood. So I think I'll stick with my sort of standard way of, you know, organising things. You know, like this, basically. So then you want an inserter there. And we want... Oh, we need 3 things, don't we? How can I arrange that then? No, so that needs to be wood. You put wood in that box. Oops. That should be that way around. And then it makes power poles for you using copper cable. But it also makes wooden boxes. What could we put here that's a good one to include? What do we need? I mean, we could just make some gear wheels for you to use, you know, for personal use sort of thing. Or maybe it's repair packs? Oh, lights use cables, don't they? Oops. Ah. What else do you use? Use iron... Green circuits, okay, so... What? Iron plate, yeah, okay. And then... So we can have that one there. And then that's some kind of output. Can I arrange that a bit better? I think I can, because I can put... that first. Whoops. So, oh, let's just redo it. So rather than... So we could put the... Yeah. No, that would be there, wouldn't it? And then... You're there. No, you're not. Oh no, you're going to have to be, aren't you? And then that one's there. So we could have just have a long-handed in there. Regular one in there. And then this is a chest with them in. Yeah, so that's a box of boxes. Define the whole notion of physics. Oops. Yeah, so you put wood in there, like so, and it makes your wooden boxes power poles. So this is going to need, so we're going to have to work out how we do the things, but these are going to need inputs. So that's just them, isn't it? And that's just that. So we're going to need some copper. So it gives me light. Lights is obviously a research tech, but that's just too tempting a thing to do. I'll just put some inserters around these because I need to work out the whole arrangement of the belts and stuff. But this, you see, because this needs green circuits and iron plate, but you're just copper, aren't you? Okay. What else have we got? I mean, these are all just iron, aren't they? Yeah. And then your stone. What about... Because that's iron. So we could put... Because these need to be... Oh, fed into each other. Oops. So, upwards to there, upwards to there. And then wooden box there and there. Couple of them, couple of them. So this needs iron plate. And this needs iron plate. And then that needs iron plate. Is there something I could usefully tack on there that's like low volume that... Because these are all the circuit gear wheel ones, aren't they? Some of these. Because these three are all like the same things, basically. And then this also uses gear wheels again, and then that one uses circuits. So it's sort of like, you know, commonality between a lot of these. Almost like it's a well-designed game. Ah! Gear wheels and circuits. So... I like it. So basically, if this is... Yeah. So this is just making some gear wheels, you know, personal use, but it'll then turn them into... Because unless you're on, like, a death world, you don't really need, generally, a lot of circuits. But generally a lot of repair packs. I do 2 of them. No, let's just do 1. Oh, excuse me. So we would need that. So basically, if we have iron plate there, that's copper, isn't it? So copper needs to be somewhere else. Maybe down the bottom. Well, that's iron plate. Your green circuits. Could I maybe flip this over? Nope. Nope. There. So then we're getting iron plate in there. And you're making gears that you're using. Your copper. So this could be copper down the bottom. And we could probably, you know, we could bring a line of green circuits, you know, up, as it were, for both of these. Because I do want this to be fairly I don't want to do my usual thing where it's like 1,000,000 miles long. I want it to be fairly compact, so that we can do something similar to the defences for this, where we can stick them around it. Is my current thinking. But these are iron plates. So much stuff uses iron plates. Need to do them as well. What's on that one? Turrets are iron, copper and gears, aren't they? Because if this is copper, iron, copper and gears. So we could put them first. So we can have turrets. Because what we could do... We have turrets there. And then it's got copper. Oops, got copper, iron. And... Because what I'm thinking is we maybe put ammo there. But then we arrange it so that the chests are together. So I could maybe... How could I do that? Don't necessarily need that. Oh, I do need that power pole though. Then I could move that. Bit tidier. I'll get rid of that power pole. Would that reach? Wouldn't reach, would it? No. Fine. So, what would be better than that? Because this one has to be the turrets, but it needs gear wheels anyway. So perhaps I do it the other way around? So it's that way around? So this is making gear wheels. Like that. And then we could just have the ammo. Because we've got 2 ammos that I'm thinking to make. Shotgun. Oh, shotgun's copper as well. Because I'm hoping I thought it was. I thought wrong, didn't I? I thought wrong. Because I was hoping to have that go there and that go there. And then this would be the shotty ammo. I can't do that because it needs copper. So I could instead... maybe... so if that was shotgun ammo... because that one's iron, isn't it? And that one's copper. And then maybe we do something a bit weird. Because I could do that again. I could move that back over. This could be gear wheels. Inserted via long-handed. Because we are going to have a... if we're going to do walls, you know, we're going to have some kind of underground. to insert them eventually. So we could do that. And then that's there. Unfortunate thing is it's not then powered using my standard arrangement. I guess we could do that. Where am I putting both of these? So that doesn't work, does it? What about if I move this over? So I could put both of those there, so we have one there and one there. Well, we don't need shotgun ammo to be in it. It just seemed like a nice thing to also include. Maybe that's like that. Oops. Because this is just making normal ammo, isn't it? Yeah. So I need some lights. And then that pulls from there. I think I'm going to stick on a thing there. Starting to wind me up. You grabbed a bit of wood, didn't you? That was naughty of you. So that's not powered. So let's make that like that. That's a bit tidier. This needs to be capped. That needs to be capped. That needs to be capped. So, iron comes in. In fact, that's here. Undergrounds. Makes turrets. Copper comes in here. Yep. So turrets, shotgun shells. That needs inserters. Ammo. This needs an inserter as well. Obviously, it's all yellow inserters. You would come and add blue ones on as you needed, as you felt you needed them, sort of thing. This is then making repair packs, but it's also making them. We're intending for there to be some green circuits coming up there. So that needs green circuits. Also needs iron plates and wires. And then that needs wood, which you put in the chest there. Have they got limits on them? Yeah. Okay, so that's the first few bits and pieces. What else can we do then? So we got, we've got this this setup here, because they're all similar things. But we also need this, or these rather. They're pretty dang important. What do they look like? So if this was stone brick coming in from somewhere, oh, that also needs pipe. So, because that goes in, that'll go into there. No problem. Obviously, but you know, we'll stick them in a chest first. But then it needs pipe. Does this also need pipe? Yes, it does. It also needs gear wheels though. So we could put, you know, pipe in the middle there. Not pipe. You know, pipe in the middle there. But here's the thing, you see. It'd be better if I was just pinching them from there, but... And I could do that. You know, we could put one there. I'm like, oh, that's perfect, because that's gear wheels. We need iron, so we need some way of splitting off the iron. The iron. Because you have to be slightly careful with these, I think, that because you wouldn't have undergrounds. You know, at the start of the game. You have to do that technology. So if we did split that... Yeah. Okay, because you just need stone. And we can move this back a bit. Let's say and stick them. In fact, let's do that in a chest, like that. It's got power there. You've then got iron plate. Sorry, everything you need apart from iron plate. Well, I've done that there. Would it be better if I did it sort of here somewhere, maybe? We could potentially use this space here rather than have it all crammed in here. And that also lets me bring the stone in a bit more efficiently, I think. Where could I take it up? So we could... How would we get at that? I mean, we could sort of reverse loop it round, maybe? I mean, I could do that. Then we got space here that I'm not sure what we would use it for. Because this is going output here. And that needs to then output there. So if that was 50, so you assume it's 40, then you actually need loads of these. But if we just put it as like 40, and it just keep chunking away making them, you need loads of them. So I might as well stick that high. And then we can have... Oops. Stone brick coming in. Well, the combined stone brick one. Here. Would that then make... Am I going to make... Because we got the landfill there. That's a research technology, but it's quite an easy one to unlock. It's quite early. And that's the only other thing using stone? He says, fingers crossed. The stone brick, but we could, like, chop the stone off. Or we could have a separate line for the stone. But yeah, let's put the... I know I was saying I would put them early, as it were, but that's just too tempting, that. Too juicy a little treat. Get some lights on the job. So got a little gap here that would be useful for something. Don't know what though. I'm not putting the lights anywhere, am I? Oops. Could I move this over? Like this. And then put the lights in there. I mean, I can do anything. I'm the one playing the game. Yeah, I like it. Until it doesn't work properly. And then I don't like it at all. Right. So, you're going to be that. But as I say, we're kind of in a situation. Didn't cap that, did I? Naughty. Kind of in a situation where if that's the combined stone, brick, then we don't need the stone to go any further. So we could arrange it so that it, you know, puts it only on one side of our belt. Or do a, you know, do a splittering, you know, filter or whatever. Split a filter would be quite good actually, because then I could just run it that way. What do I need the stone brick for? I need it for these guys, don't I? And that. This plan of doing the... because we've done them. We've done them. I've done that as well. Not got a lot left to do. We've got this whole circuity thingy. But if we got these as the kind of stone brick boys, suggest that these would need to be here. Oh no, you're not stone brick, are you? But you are steel. That's stone brick. Oh, and that isn't. Okay. Oh, for some reason I thought that had stone brick on it. So it's just these two with stone brick then. Yeah, so we could. Is that enough room? Yeah. Because this does need, you know, it needs pipes and gear wheels, so there's that to consider. So it probably needs a bit more room than I've given it, but yeah, we could have that just go up to... well, it needs green circuits, doesn't it? So they're over there. Perhaps then this goes in the gap here. These two? Do you need circuits as well? But you need gears and pipes. You need gears and pipes. You need gears and pipes. Hmm. Need to think about that. Well, this set is tempting to put this here somewhere. So steel. It needs green circuits and gears. So what would be the furthest I could really practically put that? Because I could end that there. That could go all the way up to there. Could point that in. Wait, what are you getting there? That you're not getting anything from that, are you? Because that's iron. That's iron. And you don't take iron. You take pipes. So that doesn't even need to be there. But it would give me access. I could do gears and jobs, couldn't I? So how could I do that? We could take that round. Like that. So if this pointed up there, what does that give me? So if I do no, so if I put this, so if this was, so if that's gear wheels, that's them, that's pipes, so the gear wheels, pipes, because that's what this is iron plate here, basically. Now, could I offset them? It would be better Hmm. No, I have to offset it there, aren't I? Because what I'm thinking is I put this one, say, in there. You don't actually need iron, do you? But you do need steel and green circuits. Maybe this isn't an entire line of green circuits, it's a steel and green circuits. And then that's what's on here, is the steel and green circuits. Because this uses steel as well. It also uses gear wheels and pipes. A tricky puzzle. I mean, we could take that out. And then we can't get an exit. I thought we might. Oh no, but that's got gear wheels in it. So what could this be? This could be these boys. Can I even reach that? No. Too far away. But we need... So that's gears. We would need pipes again. Right, it's not going to work at all, is it? Not without some undergrounds. Well, I mean that could move over one. Be there. That would help out with the boxes as well. Right. This, if that's pipes, because the other option, I could stick all the pipes on a belt like I normally do, and we could put that there. Dogleg it round. So then it's got access to steel, pipes, so that's pipes, because this is iron plate coming around. This is, at the moment, green circuits and steel. So this has then got access to steel, green circuits, gear wheels, and pipes. And it's got a place to put them. So that works. It's not brilliant, but it works. It also fills that gap. This then is where we're going to make, so don't know where that's going to end up, but if we leave a bit of room, because this just needs, it needs steel and green circuits, which is on that. How could I get them in? I mean, we could go spaghetti madness, obviously. But it might be better if I did that. And then this is here. And something would be in this gap. Possibly assembly machines. Because I haven't made assembly machines yet, and they're pretty vital. Yeah, okay. So something could probably go in that gap. We could even extend it a bit if we needed to, because this could be, in fact, you know, I could do that just straight away. We could make a bit more space there. Have I just done what I did before? No, that works. So that then gives it, I mean, it's, you know, it's slow and rubbish, but that's sort of the point of this. So one of these needs to be pipes and one gear wheels. I would suggest that possibly, if that's gear wheels, we could probably feed it into something else. So if this is pipes, and both of these can have access to pipes, we can put the outputs here. Don't know how I'm going to power all this, but... Oh no, that works. There we go. That works. That works. So that then is a stack of them. Let's do 2 of them. So you would need... Oh, we need the gear wheels, don't we? You would need to sort of up. In fact, let's do that. You need to upgrade quite a lot of these inserters, I think, because some of them are really going to be really slow. But this is stone brick, isn't it? Which we need for that. So we can deliver that there. Ah. Power poles don't work. That is what it is, I think. We just have to have an extra one there. But then we could have... we could rearrange this a bit. What would be better? If that was the... No, let's just have it like that. So it's just whacking it in a chest there. So, I don't know, a couple of stacks actually. It's probably better. And then I think I will give these 2 inserters, both of these. Right. Because we can test this out fairly easily by just putting the infinite spawners on. But I want to see if I can get it right to start with. Okay. So say we need something in that gap. Possibly then. Because... Oh, that would work quite well, wouldn't it? Because... Oh no, it didn't quite fit, I don't think. Because we could grab those pipes, but we can't reach those gears. I mean, we could put it, you know, in a chest. Yeah, let's just stick it in a chest. Feels like we could put something else in here, though. Because it needs pipes. Assembly machines don't, do they? Where's that? There it is. So grab these. So your gears and... Yeah, you don't need pipes. So we've got miners and... Because we could put the miners here instead. Like this. Because this is green circuits here. That's iron plate there. Oh. Iron plate, gears, oops, green circuits, stack of them. But could I get the... If I do that, what does that buy me? So can I put these on? I would still need more. I would need, well, I would need that as well. I don't suppose that would fit. No. No, not going to fit in there. Except I could move it one over. But what does that give me? I can't feed iron into that. But I can now. This is quite a contraption I'm coming up with. I like it. So if that was that chest there. So this is pump jacks. But how am I getting pipes? Because I need those pipes there. Dang. Haha. Don't work, does it? Doesn't work. That doesn't work there. Can we put it somewhere else and just make a few gear wheels? So if we move that over. So if this is pump jacks, we get green circuits and steel there. That there. That there. Would that go there? Yeah, it's a bit tidier. And then if I just move that down one. So it's giving it gear wheels, steel, green circuits, pipes. Yeah. Unfortunately that sticks out. What do you need? You need iron plates. Can I squish that all together a bit? I mean, we could we? Would that work? So if I put this like here. Like that. Does that work? And that we move to there. Moves it slightly closer. Do you need iron plate? No, you don't. Why is this all 2 up? Why is there a gap here? They're all long-handed. I mean, there's that, but we can just underground there. And there's that, but that doesn't need to be, that could be differently aligned. That could be, you know. Yeah. So if we take all of this. The undergrounds might be tricky, but... So you go there. So that still pops out there. And there's a second underground there. So that we can do that. Move that up one. Because you don't need to be long-handed then. Neither do you. Neither do you. This could move one over this way. What good does that do me? It doesn't do me any good. Because I can't move that over. Because that belt's underground. Unless I do that. And then I can move this Just trying to keep it like flush on the edge. And then that goes under there. So this needs pipes, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, we've ended up with an explosion of power poles. Maybe one there instead. That's fine. I'm not bothered about that. So that's just one. That's just one. Okay, I think that's all. Okay. So I think we put the. Oops. Put the other side of the wall here. Don't actually want to do that because it'll be in the way. Yeah. So what am I actually using copper for? With any of these? Why have I left this down here and not just pulled the whole thing up? These guys need copper. They also need steel. This needs steel. That's just iron plates and cogs and stuff again, isn't it? Because what I'm wondering, maybe I have this splitter here. Because that's iron plate, isn't it? Yeah. So we need green circuits to come in somewhere, but we got the copper line here. Green circuits. So are these the only things that use copper? Raw copper, that is, obviously. I think they are. Which means we could have them all here. It's also quite a convenient place to put them as well, because you've got your wooden power poles there, and then you've got your next two levels here as well. But they both need iron sticks, and they both need steel. Well, this line has got steel on it, as well as green circuits. But you need iron plate, don't you? So, we could do something. Guess that's the gap. Oh no, wrong thing. So, if that's the iron sticks there, yeah. So actually, I can go there. Because this has got steel on it. And then we need, well, I don't know quite what it will look like, but, you know, chests. Why did I put it on the bottom? Put it on the top. Put it on the bottom, not on the top. Always better to be on the bottom. Right, double stack of that. So it needs access to iron plates, but we've got iron plates here, you see. Now, and you see that's the only use of copper, so we could put it that further out that way, or, you know, just extend that a bit, you know, so we've got room to play with here. And this line has got steel and green circuits on it. Is that useful for anything? Because these are... Oh, we need transport belts, don't we? So we've got 3 things off of there that use transport belts. Because that's gear wheels. That's just iron plate and things. So you can have a... No, neither of those use gear wheels, do they? So... Oops. Pick it up. Why are you not picking it up? So if this was transport belts here, then we would need those there. This could be green circuits for both of them. Or doesn't need to be there, so or other way around. So then you're like that. Or well, on the top probably is a bit easier. So what does that then? Cogs as well. But you don't need cogs. No, you don't, do you? But you do. So that's a cog machine. And you're just iron plate. So you could have iron plate anywhere, yeah? I mean, that's splitters. So that needs iron plate as well. So I say iron plate can be anywhere here. But if they're there, I'll put the output for that there maybe. So this was iron plate along here, and this is circuits. So I can feel about that, no problem. But that's circuit. I mean, don't even necessarily need it. Could feed it in straight there. But this needs to be you need iron plate, and you've not got access to it. Okay. So somebody's going to need a long-handed somewhere. Okay. Oops. So I don't, we'll have to work it out, but alright, well, it needs to be there. So it needs to be green circuits somehow. Okay, so it's a stack of labs, stack of splitters, oops, 2 stacks of undergrounds, a load of belts. Yeah, oh, hello. Volonos? Welcome to the stream. So just for clarification, are you building new blueprints for base building? Yeah, so basically, I have never made myself a standard set of blueprints, basically. So whenever I play the game, I've got 2,500 hours now, something silly like that. I design everything basically from new. And I did the first series... so I started streaming about 9 months ago or something like that. And I went straight into doing a mega base. And what was very apparent was that it took me a long time to even get to the stage where I was going to do a mega base. Because I was designing everything from scratch. Which is, I really enjoy doing that. That's why I've never really put together standard blueprints. But it occurred to me that, I was spending so long... like a third of the entire sort of series of streams was me making making everything from scratch. And I've tended to... So what I'm trying to do here is build something that's like a Kickstarter base, basically. So it's not efficient, it's not going to produce anything in massive volumes, it's just giving you the things you need to make the next bit of the base, to get you off the ground, basically. And so I'm trying to do it in a nice compact... single entity thing, as much direct insertion as I can do and that sort of thing, because what I normally do is I just build it ad hoc and I use a general sort of pattern where essentially machines down the middle, sometimes feeding into each other, sometimes, you know, into crates, that sort of thing. So you might have, and I'm sort of reusing this idea, but you might have, you know, those going into chests, and, you know, this one is going a direct insertion. And I say I'm trying to do this, you know, because it's how I like to build it anyway. Power poles going down the middle, and then I just chuck, I'll have, you know, a lane of iron, a lane of copper, maybe one of steel at the top, green circuits, combined cogs and pipes, and then basically just use loads of, you know, long-handeds to grab what I need and all that sort of stuff. And that's, I don't have any, you know, I enjoy doing that. I have no real problem with it. But my thought is that if I'm going to do a base in a book, I say, let's try and do it a bit more consistent, as it were. That it's you stick this down and it'll make the stuff that you need to make your next phase of factory. Because I've already done, so yesterday's stream, I basically did a load of blueprints of like a lot of basic stuff. So we got smelting arrays there, for example, but we've got this, if I can find it. So it's like a modular red and green science. I'm in creative mode mod, by the way. That's why I'm just able to slap these down. But then, you know, that gets you, you know, you just stick in iron plates. That gets you automation. Then that lets you do a bit more red science at a bit better speed. A defensive thing, if you want, sort of thing. You don't have to. And then just that one on top there gets you green circuits as well. So basically, this gets you up the tech tree to wherever you want to go. I mean, you can unlock so much with red and green circuits that basically, you know, like power poles and stuff. So the starter base has got the absolute basic stuff in it to do this, oil processing. But the idea is it gets you up to military and blue science. So what I'm then going to build, the next phase, so you build this, I mean, I need a, you know, like a mini smelter, basically. But you would then make enough stuff to make the smelter array. So you would, because, you know, my thought process is you're doing this and then, you know, it gets you a car as well. So you build a car and then you would go out, and I say I've just revealed this with the creative mode mod, but you'd go out and you'd explore and you'd work out, all right, well, this is the area I'm in. So, and I like to build bus type bases. So that's what it's basically going to be. And you would say, right, oh, well, there's a nice long strip there, so we'll do a horizontal bus going across there. Oh, and I'll put my smelting here. Let's clear these biters out. So that would be or, you know, however you want to do vertical bus there, or, you know, in fact, vertical probably be better because you've got oil at one end of it and a bit more space. But, you know, you would explore around and find out where you're going to put stuff. And then when you know where you're going to put your smelting, for example, or you've got a basic idea, you can then use those. The stone furnace ones, and of course it's made the stone furnaces and the belts that you need to do it. So that's my sort of idea. The plan with the sort of playthrough is I'm going to test it, essentially. So there'll be a bunch of episodes, you know, a bunch of streams where I just make the blueprints, and then we'll start up, you know, a proper game, and I'll use those blueprints to try and, you know, see if they work, basically. Is this a practical and sensible way of doing it? That's not quite the question, but is it okay, as it were? Does it work, as it were? So yes, so they're new blueprints for me, but I say a lot of it's stuff that I've kind of done before, you know, like smelting rays and stuff. You know, I've built them before. I'm just formalising them in a blueprint. I was saying earlier on that I do steel completely differently every single time I play the game, which is fine. And I say I enjoy the design process, but it makes it a lot slower. You know, if you just have a standard blueprint, especially if you're going for big scale. Because I want to have another go at the mega base. It was okay, but you know, I learnt a hell of a lot. So, you know, the idea would be to possibly roll into another proper mega base attempt, sort of thing. Right, so this sort of works all together. We've got engines there. They have steel and cogs again, don't they? And we've got radars. Oh, grenades. Where am I going to put grenades? Where am I going to put grenades? It makes sense to put them maybe there. Because they're the only thing... You know, the leftover coal from that like mini smelting is really what is all I need, I think. Yeah, so maybe if the coal goes in... grenades go in here. Because my sort of initial thought was to try and do it so that you built it left to right as you unlock new technologies, but then I've just higgledy-piggledy thrown everything in, basically. So that's not really a cohesive plan I came up with there, but there you go. And this is the iron plate coming back round, isn't it? You're the only one that needs that there. Yeah, so I'm thinking that there. And then this is meant to be a steel green circuit combined lane. So it's this one. That one there. And I could just have the coal hop over. Let's grab that again. We just have the coal. What would be best? If we put it... So if that's the iron plate... I tend to use the lights to try and signify this is a cup crate, you know, this is where your crate is, as it were. So we could just have the coal there, basically. It's not quite far enough over. Maybe... Well, let's just do that. It's all yellow inserters, but you'd obviously need to upgrade. Maybe... Oh, that'll be fine. If I just pop that on there, and then we'll have that one there. Oh, wrong place. And then we might as well do that. There's one stack of grenades. Whatever iron plates just left over there. In fact, it might be easier. What I'm thinking here, because these are iron plate, gears, and green circuits, and that's sort of what these are. Yeah, same stuff. So we put these two next to each other, because that's... How far over do I want them? That's the wall there. Because they both need gears, don't they? Maybe I put it in the middle. What? Like that. So that's the gears again. So how close do I want that to be to the wall? Maybe there. Don't know why I put that one too far down. Right, so that's iron plate. This should be gears. And then that there. And that's radar, so that's iron plate. And then you can grab circuits from there. You need that. Oops, put that there and there. So then some chests. Oops. And then just the one stack of them. Oops. Ooh. I didn't really say hello, but if you're still there, hello. Hope you're having a good day. A good weekend. Yeah, okay. Right, so what we're missing? We're missing the most important bits, basically, which is always great. So at the moment that's iron plate, and that's where I'm doing the green circuits from. Could I maybe somehow fit this on here? Because it's iron plate on the bottom. And then we can maybe rethink the power poles. Trouble is, how do I get the green circuits round? I could flip this in some way. What would be a good flip? So if that's flipped like that. Because that needs iron plate access as well. I mean, a bit messy, but could maybe, if you need iron plate, I mean, we're going to need iron plate for all of them as well. And you need steel, don't you? Could I get you in there somehow? That's not going to work, is it? So these all... Well, some of them need cogs. Looks like I'm probably going to have to split that again. That's far from ideal. So we've got iron plate coming in there. Oh no, that needs to be green circuits, doesn't it? Okay. Because it doesn't need... So if that's there... I mean... A bit hacky, but... You'd always take a split from there. Like that. In fact, I could filter it, couldn't I? So that it's just green circuits. Because I also got... In fact, that's very messy. Oh, I've got two outputs for that now. Why have I got two outputs? Well, if I moved all of this over one, would that help anything? I need that power pole. It'll do. So it just needs to produce some stuff, really. It doesn't need to be efficient or anything like that. So I should stop worrying, really. Engines, though. Where would be a good place to try and squeeze in engines? Problem is, one of the best places would be sort of feeding off of this. I mean, put them in there. How would that work? Because I can't underground all the way over there. Because that's the green circuit line. Because we could put, put the engines here with like pipes where am I going to put the output? I could put the output just on the top again. Because that's steel. Then how do I get this over there? Huh. Let me think. So if that was... No, that wouldn't work, would it? Because I could do that. Or that even. And that. But how do I get that so it can feed into both of those? What I could do... Because that doesn't... Oh, yeah, it needs steel, but it doesn't need iron plate. So if that's like that... Big old mess, but... So it's getting steel, cogs, pipes. They're both getting iron there. That... Oh, don't need that filter now then. So that's both steel and green circuits. You've got green circuits, inserters, belts and iron plate. No, you haven't got iron plate, have you? Oh no, yeah, no, that's iron plate there. You've now got iron plate and gear wheels. You've got gear wheels, green circuits, and... Yeah, okay. Feels like this is something I would iterate on a few times, I think. Because it's a bit of a mess. And we've got a gap here that I haven't really used for anything. Yeah, that's fine. Right, so the only bit that's missing is inserters. Now, these two need gears, don't they? And that one just needs circuits. Oh, they all... No, those two need circuits. That one needs iron plate. So we got iron plate there. So, if you both need circuits, and you need circuits as well, what I could do instead... Something like that. And then this can grab... Ah, that can't get access to them, can it? With that arrangement, but we could... Whoops. Instead, move that there. That could be there. That could be there. And then you can grab out there. You can take from there. You from there. And you from wherever you fancy, really. Okay, let's neaten that up a little bit. Okay. And then you need iron plate. Oh, it needs gear wheels as well. We could, in theory, pitch them from there, but... Is there somewhere I can get both of those to grab from there? So if that was there, you could do that. We could underground that bit. No, we couldn't, because that then doesn't have access to iron plate. So if that was there, don't work, does it? Because logically that needs to be there so that I could direct insert between those two. And that could be there. But then I've no way of getting iron plate. Because that's from there, that's from there. So that's green circuits. Because you need iron plate as well. Oh no, got iron plate. I think I've just put another one in basically then, so oh, it's a shame. It'd be nice to cannibalise from both of those, but let's rethink that. So if this ends up being having its own, yeah, so we can just take gear wheels from there, and then this will have its own gear wheels or cogs or whatever it calls them. Whatever it calls them. So that then, I don't know which is which. That's, no, that's the iron plate. And then that goes in there. That goes in there. A couple of stacks, oops, a couple of stacks of them. This, that is the iron plate, isn't it? So you need iron plate. Also need circuits, so it gets. So that can now get iron plate from there, as can that. So it gets circuits. Oh, it doesn't need circuits. Doesn't need circuits. It's totally fine without them. It's good to know. This one does though. So that, in fact, why don't I do that? So that gets iron plate, iron gear wheels. It needs iron plates though, doesn't it? Yeah. And it can feed direct into there. Oh, because you need circuit. I could move you like that though. So put power in there. Power in there. And then you put into a chest there. Other way end. Like that. Like that. Like that. So you've then got iron plate. So you also need that. How very greedy of you. Oh, I didn't put any lights on that one, did I? Get some lights in there. So it's a bit higgledy-piggledy, but I think it should work. So we ended up some gaps. Oh well. I'm sure I can probably refine it in some way. Oops. So these are the walls in theory. Oh. Oops. Just pop some gates in, I guess, at some point. But just punch a hole for the moment. Right, so you need to be limited to, say, a stack, 2 stacks, 2 stacks. Right, so we'll test it out with, you know, some infinite spawners. This needs to be cold, doesn't it? So I'll take these out the way. Right, so we need some... I guess I can just do it the rubbish way that I normally do. Right, so loader... that needs to be both sides then, doesn't it? Okay. That's yellow belt. Copper on that one. Plate. Oh, that's a double-sider as well. Okay. So we want... Oh, I haven't got any of them. Oh, I took it all away, didn't I? I haven't got any. Oh, just grab some stone. And then, if... Oh, no, I don't actually use that. So if we do that. And then got steel, green circuits. There we go, it's a bit more sensible. Right, so this would be iron plates. That's... where's the stone gone? Oh, I put it on 0. What an idiot. Alright, so that's stone. That's stone brick. Do I put... Ah, stone brick. This one's copper. That one's coal. That one's green circuits. That one's steel. Do they make things? We could just check void chests in as well, just to keep them running. That'll help with me with knowing how much I need to produce as well. No, let's, in fact, let's leave them be for the moment. Make sure I've got the chest caps right. So you got a slow trickle of landfill there. Cool. Then we've got some stone furnaces being made there. Cool. Then we've got some boilers being made there. We've got some walls there. It's taking a while to trickle through, isn't it? And then we've got... What we got? We got them, but very, very slowly. Which is fine and as expected. You're making... Oh, we've got... Oh dear, that's not good. Belt pollution going on there. I made a mess of that. Let us... So we need both of those to have access. Get rid of that. That's not good. That's a bit weird looking, isn't it? Why don't I put that there? Do that. So are you making... Very, very slowly, obviously. And you're still getting everything. Cool. What about you? You've not made anything. Why not? Because all your gears are going somewhere else. Oh no, that's made a few. This one does not have any steel. Why does it not have any steel? Is it hooked up to the wrong things? It is, isn't it? So it needs that. Give it circuits and steel. So that was a nice mistake. What else? Are you making them now? Yes, you are. Oh, I've got it in twice. Oh, that's an error. Ah. That's a proper mistake, that one. Wait, oh, it's got a long-handed there. Ah. Okay. So we don't need any of this, do we? Don't need that. All that, all that. Probably tidy that up quite a bit. Okay. Right, start down here then. So we've got gear wheels doing what? being used for turrets. We got turrets. We got turrets. We got shotty shells. We got firearm magazines. Eventually we'll have pipes. No boxes, but then I didn't put any wood in, did I? Wood? So this is making, yeah, wooden boxes. It's already made all the lights, crikey, that's efficient of it. So that's made a few. Coal. So eventually I'll make, it's not ideal that these are on the end, is it, at all? Oh well. I mean, most of this up here is later technology, so you wouldn't be filling a lot of this bit out. You know, they're later. Oops. Misclicked. Right, so you've made power poles, you've made grenades. You've not made anything, but it's because you're just not getting any iron plate. Okay. Okay. Radars. We have made radars. We have made undergrounds. We have made splitters. Made a regular belt. We've made labs. We even made engines. And fast inserters. Long-handeds. And we must have made them. Because otherwise we couldn't have made fasts. Okay, so it works. It's not brilliant design. It's not as compact as it could be. We've got some big spaces. And that error means I could stick something else in there. Am I happy with it as a basic concept? I think I am. Except I'm not. I don't like this being the last one. What it could do is just flip the recipes around. So that one could be that, and that one. Oh, no, I missed again. There we go. So now that's radars, and that's... Yeah, that's better, I think. Because then this is going to get iron... I mean, it's better. It's still not brilliant, but it's going to get iron first, as it were. I would say things like repair packs, it's like you need them, but you only really need them when you get attacked, so... And this is first in the queue, which I think is good. To guard against biters, but again it's sort of a thing where it's once it's made them, it's kind of, you're probably okay. And they're also being made, or you've got the option to make them in this one. Okay, right, so we'll take that as okay, so not brilliant, but fine. Okay. What we really need to know is how many of these smelters, because that's the other part to it. But we'll stick in the walls and stuff and defences. How big a turret coverage do we have? So if that was there. Okay, now let's keep the same style with the sort of abutments at these things. So we want to be plopping one of these on. In fact, just pop it over there for the time being. On the corners. So it's like that, isn't it? And does that cover... Oh, it covers... Oh, it's only just, isn't it? The problem is these belts. It feels like this could be more compacted, but... Trouble is this one. And I could spaghetti it round, but... Where does it end? So it's sort of there. So it covers that one. So what does it look like on this side if we put one here? So I need to flip it that way. Yeah, so there's a bit of coverage. So it sort of goes up to there, doesn't it? Wait. Why does that not look like it's aligned properly? So it's 1 over. Optical illusion, I think. So that goes to... So we've got coverage sort of up to there. And up to there. So it's not brilliant. A spitter would probably hit you. Might be a good excuse to have for a reason for the, you know, another reason for this power pole to be in. Have a sort of a little bump there, and then we pop a. Is that the centre? So if that's the full length, so 36, so 18 would be the centre. So that's halfway. Yeah. So that there, this is like the centre point. So ideally we want the turret there. So we could put box there, light there. At least it looks like it's fully covering it then. Obviously this needs to be one out. So they're not perfectly in line. So technically that's going to take... in fact, I could stick the other design in. Because we could put... Wait, that's the middle there. That's the middle there. Because we could put that there. Will that work? So the chest needs to be the centre point. Yeah, that's good. So we can do that. And then we've got even-ish. It's not quite, because one's... I mean, we couldn't get it because it's an even number of tiles, but... Gives another reason for that power pole to be there. So, let's make this look a little bit fancier. And then, so you put that there. So I've got a 1 tile gap. I know that, I mean, technically that's in the line of fire, but where did we put that? Like that. So, what we could do, we could cheekily use this as where we have a radar. Because I'm going to need to put more turrets in here as well. Because that's nowhere near that's coverage. Okay, well we got the thing there. I'll just grab that. Flip it over. Wrong flip. That flip. Get rid of these bits of rubbish. And then that replaces this. Where are you going to go? If you go... Because it's butted right up against the machine there, isn't it? So if we do the same here... Oops. There's no power for that one. Right, so... Some... In fact, we could use this. we could be very cheeky and say and call this a garage. Notice I'm basically using this as an excuse to not rework the design so that it's better. Let's spawn a car. How big is the car? That's the car there. So if we ended up with a car there, well, we've got coal there. That's interesting. Because we could put a splitter in there. No, we couldn't, because that would be right up against the wall. I guess we could have a little chest just here. Would that power everything? No, of course it wouldn't. Of course it wouldn't. So we just have a little chest there that we can stick some coal in the car because it's, you know, we got the ammo there as well. And this is a little garage for the car, in quotes. How big is that? That looks like too small a gap for me to hit. With my terrible driving skills. Maybe extend that in. And then the car can go there. And we can have an extra turret there, maybe. Or maybe we put a little bit of a wall. You know, imagine the biters are coming for you. So you've got a little extra turret here. Does that help with the power situation there? Yeah, that's a bit better, isn't it? So we can have that there, chesticle there, light there. In fact, if I made that... Would that work if I moved it all up one? Sorry, move this up one. No? What have I done there? Like that. Then could I have... I bet that's too far, isn't it? Because what I was thinking is we could have the turret there and put a bunch of lights there. In fact, we could put the lights more like that, I think. Bit more of an interesting setup, I guess. Right, and this actually needs to be a gate as well then, if we were coming in here so that we could get in. Do a bit of a run round. Do whatever we need to do, collect the stuff. Cool. Right, so let's put some stone on as well. In fact, let's just fill it. Oh. Oh, of course, it's only, yeah. That's a bit annoying. Can I rank that up? For the time being? So if I do that. So we need some turrets on the other side. Let's just get this in. And then down there. I'm actually doing another series as well called Aesthetic Factorio. Bit of a Ponzi name, if I'm honest, but trying to do attractive looking bases, or yeah, attractive looking builds basically. So I guess, I mean, the question here is more. Oops, that wasn't meant to be that. That was meant to be that. Do I take these further up this way? I guess I should. And then we can put that there. Do I need to double wall this? I didn't double wall this. Nah. Nah. Let's not bother. Right. Make the power though. Temporarily. Yeah, let me I can then put, you know, some outcroppings like that if I do that. So we want another one here. Ah. Okay. Can I rearrange that? So if that was like that. Oh, that's annoying. That's annoying. And then copper coming in here. I haven't done any pathways. I should do some pathway templates, I guess. Don't usually tend to think of them until you've got concrete. And then these need to be like this. Cool. And then we probably need to recreate the gate, even if it's not. So it's like one tile in, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what did I do over here? It was just a thing, wasn't it? In fact, these are 4, aren't they? 2, 3, 4. No, that's 4. Okay. In that case, we've got an extra one there. And then take that. Is that 4? I think that's 4. Wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What have I done there then? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So it was wrong anyway. It was wrong anyway. I'm super mega fast because of the cheat mods, you know, the cheats that you get with. Wait, 1, 2, 3. No, it is right. It's difficult to count them when it's the thing. So that should be, in fact, what did I do? Let's just go and look. So that's 4. Yeah, so it's literally as if it was going into the base like that. That's that. That's that. So that's actually 5 because it's the car park. And then it's like that. And stone brick again. Like that. I mean, logically, you're going to probably be more likely to be coming in the middle than in at the edges, but it's kind of what I've done there as well. It is similar. Okay, so what we're doing turret-wise, so we want something, and we need turrets in the middle, so that's not an issue. For the wall. Now, how big is this? So, if we were to say that there, like that. So how big is that? That is 42. So 21 is... Oh! 21 is halfway. Where did I cut and paste that? So that's half. And that's half. Cool. So ideally, what's the coverage though? Yeah, it wants something solidly in the middle, doesn't it? Okay, so if this is the midpoint, excuse me. Again, it's an even number of tiles, so it didn't quite work, but okay. I think it's going to have to poke out a bit on both sides. That's fine. A bit further, rather. But then, how am I going to get that? Let's make it top heavy. Or slightly higher on the top. So then we have that. Oops, that there. And which way around did I put it on? It's on the inside, okay. There. And then the chest there. Inserters there. Lights there. Stone brick. There. Okay, so copy and paste that. Flip it over. Work out where it needs to be. So it would be, is that lined up with that? Needs to be lined with that. So that needs to be a center point. Shouldn't have done that. Cut and paste it. So lined up like that, isn't it? Is that right? So the chest is there, the chest is there. Yep. It's all a bit unfortunate that that lines up so well with the things. Rather it wasn't there, but oh well. I guess it's the most well defended area. I guess, and then we want that in there. Oh, I guess I could put a bit of a decorative touch. Like so. Cool, okay. How do you know times? It's 5:15 already, crikey. Blimey. Normally I only stream till 6, so So I guess in theory you'd probably be sort of putting, you know, a row of undergrounds there to the degree that made you happy. You know, bringing those over. And then you can put whatever runways and walkways that you want. Wherever you want them. So the actual production side of things can be a separate building. And it gives you the option then you could hook it up to the full-on smelter arrays. It's up, you know, up to you as it were. But there's this dedicated small build producing the bits and pieces. I like that plan. So then basically this needs to be the output side. So I'll just copy that up. So the coal needs to end up there. That might be a tricky one. We take this up here somewhere. So this needs to be stone, brick and stone. This is the iron plate. That's kind of the trickiest one because everything needs iron plate. We only need a tiny amount of copper. You know, half a thing of green circuits isn't a lot at all. But this one kind of needs to be full. So it's probably going to be a case of, if we try and make it the same size. Oh, well, I guess I could actually turn it into blueprints finally. So we've got that one there. Include the tiles, but not that. No, don't include the tiles in this version. So we'll create that blueprint. What the heck am I going to call this? I guess that's a pretty good symbol. Maybe that number 1. So this is it with that. Oh, I should. Idiot. What I need to do is take that out. Them. That. That. Don't need the gates either. Those. So this is the defenseless version. You know, because you might be playing on, you know, like a normal save or whatever. You might be playing without biters or passive biters or whatever, so it's not a worry. Is that right? No, Mr. Light in the corner. And then don't need the whole garage thing. Garage. Missed those. Run that again, see if it's better now. All better now. So it's not got any extraneous defensy bits, but that's fine. That's what we're after. And then basically this one, this has the tiles, but this time we don't want any of them. And, oh, we do want that. Get rid of that. Oh, that one had the radar on it. I guess we could use the radar as the anchor point. Don't need the belts, do I? I guess in combination with the power poles would be best there. So there's not going to be any long-handeds doing that. Don't need them. Splitters aren't going to be involved in the defences. Let's see what it looks like. So this is one with defences. I could put walls on as well, I guess, couldn't I? Oh, no, wrong one. That one. No, let's put the stone brick on. Show it's got a floor on it. Crikey. It's probably best if I plop that down and then sort of filter remove. Oh, I've already got one. So we want to get rid of chests inserters, lights from the middle here. The ones not associated with the defences, so it would be those ones. So I'll leave the power poles so we can work out where everything is, along with the radar. And then those can all go. So this is the defensive, 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 defensive. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. What I do want to check though is the... So we need to redo that blueprint. That. So hopefully we're happy with that. But one thing we need to check is the floor layout. Because we don't want any... No, wrong thing. We don't want any... I can do that by... Oh, it won't let me do tiles, will it? Okay, let's do it the other way around then. So we want to get rid of that, 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 them, those boys. I think that's it. We'll see. Nope, forgot the power piles. So the question, you see, is whether basically this set of walls, have I accidentally overlapped it underneath the walls? And it looks like I'm probably okay. Because it's basically pointless putting... No, that can't be right, because that's 2 tiles there. So that's got to be wrong. And it's 1 tile out there. Oh no, I did put it 2 out, didn't I? That's right, so it is correct. Looks good. Looks good. Okay, so that's the actual blueprint for the... or blueprints. For the sort of Kickstarter base. God dear, it's hard work this. That's got that on, but we need like the 0 bit, which is the actual production of materials. And what I'm thinking is we make that... Where are you? The same sort of size, and if we can, certainly the same horizontal size. Actually, let's do one more. Right, let's do it this way. Cool. And then on. So oh, something's in the way. What's in the way? Tree in the way. That's fine. Who cares about trees? So we can get rid of that bit and clear out the innards. Don't need the car here. It'd be good to just reuse the defences, basically. I'll see if we can't squeeze everything in here. So that you can just sort of plop it down next to each other. Close as you like or don't like. We do need to tidy that up a little bit then. Cool. Ah, there is 1 tile missing there. That's annoying. Is that literally it? Is that the only tile I've missed? Where's that? It's underneath this, I think, isn't it? Oh, yeah, it did plop something down there. That's annoying. So, if we plot that down... It's a great thing about creative mod. You just don't have to worry about materials and getting the stuff and your robots, you know, travelling at, 2 miles an hour and run out of charge in after 10 seconds or any of that rubbish. Oh, I should have checked it. Can't see any gaps. It's all cosmetic, that, really, but, there's nothing wrong with cosmetics. Right, so, what we need here is the inputs to these. And they're going to be... Did I pick it up? I think I got rid of it, didn't I? Nuts. So we're going to need... stone coming in here. It's from somewhere. We're going to need iron ore. Quite a lot of that, unfortunately. Copper ore. And of course some coal. Now, if we're going to make them green circuits in this bit, then what's that going to look like? It doesn't matter what's... I've not done any tricks with belt sides or any of that stuff, so it doesn't really matter, even though it's steel and, green on top and steel on bottom, it doesn't actually matter. So, how many of these do we actually want? So in theory it takes half a second, but it's half the speed of that, isn't it? So it's basically 1 second to cross a single green circuit. And if we were to try and build half a belt, which would seem sensible because it's used quite a lot of places, then we would need, in theory, 8. Because they carry 15 items a second, which, so, I mean, it's 7.5 technically. Of course. Given space limitations, maybe that's the way to go. Like that. Oops, did I copy and paste that? So I can butt that up against that. No problem. And then we end up with... Steel's going to be really tricky. Oh, have I not got any stone furnace? Yes, I have. There you go. Because this bottom one is the steel... In fact, this needs to be higher up because we need room for belts. We could make it all the way over there, though. So this is then the cables. I mean, I could one-to-one it. Doesn't make a huge amount of difference. And would save me a bit of space. Shall I one-to-one it? Because what I'm thinking is I can have basically iron plate coming in here. Oh, it doesn't fit, does it? Can I put that a bit further over? Yes, but I'm just going to one-to-one it, I think. Yeah. Oops. So a bit slower than you would hope, but so basically I'm playing there. And there. Oh, better not forget to fill that in. Oops. Like that. Wait, that's the wrong way. This needs to be one over, doesn't it? One tile over. How far down can I put it? Can I put it there? And then we need to have copper here. So we're looking to use more copper to make the green circuits than we need in the actual build everything area. If I can do that. I mean, I could actually fit more in there. Because if we just offset it a bit. Oops. So I can fit more in. It's just they're not going to be... Oh. Not going to be evenly going into the machines. Is that a problem? Probably not. In the grand scheme of things. It's all a bit uneven. But basically I can put the smelting for the steel on the other side of the belt. So we can kind of have this be... I put that in the wrong place, haven't I? There. I mean, we wouldn't fill the steel. That could be wherever. It can go a bit further over. I want to get as many of these in as I can, I think. I mean, we could squeeze another one in there. Could we? Not really. In fact, it needs to be offset from that. So, because I'm going to need to pass the belt down the side. Oh, no, I'm not. No, don't need to do that. Oop. So, yeah, so we can have like that. Oh, no, we do need, because we need to be able to... Don't want that up against the wall. In fact, might as well just put it there then. What the heck? And then this is the green... In fact... Because, I mean, 1, 2, 3... How many are there? 15. So it's a bit rubbish production-wise. Like, it's the best we can do. Because we're going to need quite a lot of this space for steel and stuff. For iron plate. Oh well. Not sure I'm going to feed that one. Could always punt that one over. But I'm thinking then, so basically the iron plate maybe up there for the steel. And then we split it off in some way, fashion or form. And then that can go There and there and there and there. Oh, it's not aligned, is it? There. Strikes me as being way more than a belt's worth of iron plate. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. No, this doesn't. Yeah, that's wrong because we need a. I need to get the copper down here somehow, and I don't want that against the wall. So it was right, my instinct there, but that was wrong. Oh, it's going to be a pain to redo. Okay. So it needs to be there. So that one. That one. And this one needs a kink in it. And then copper down there. Like that somehow. Oh, actually, I could have undergrounded it, couldn't I? Oh, well, didn't make a lot of difference. So I guess what I could do is have, where's the coal? Because that's the coal there, you see. So we could have, like, it'd probably end up being the other way around. So that would be, oh, I can't do that, can I? Because some of these block. Block the things. Because I was thinking I could have long-handeds to grab there. But this is in the way. Okay. What's another way of doing that? What we could do, instead of undergrounding all that stuff around there. I mean, would that work? Because that fits across there, doesn't it? Would that be the iron line? And then we have that. Use one of them. Oops. It's a lot of undergrounds. It's a lot of undergrounds. Not quite sure I'm going to power it all either. Because there's no room. There's really no room. Oh well, these wouldn't actually that rubbish wouldn't be there, would it? So this could be the coal this time. So none of that's there. So that's the coal. And the coal goes out there eventually. Or, you know, it's coming the other way and I'm splitting it or something. So, now we're powering this. So I need to connect this, otherwise I can't tell what's flashing for what reason. So plot one. Wow, okay. So that power pod doesn't even reach. Okay. That's not going to work then. So 1-to-1 it is. Also gives me a bit more room. These poor gates must be driving them mental. Right. Oops. Oh, well, I could do that. Something like that. Maybe. Oh, I can't put that there, can I? That's an inserter. Don't work. Don't work. Too many connections, too little space. Oh, hello, Grim Reaper. You alright? How you doing? I think I might have to sacrifice a couple of the old 16 seconds. I mean, this is only going to deliver 15 anyway. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And we want the iron. Yeah, I don't think that it would work anyway. So I think we're going to have to sacrifice some of that. Just to give room for the blooming power bars. Okay, so get rid of that. Oh, well. That one over. Have to sacrifice more than that, I think. Okay, thanks. Been out at the old man's all day. It's good to visit the family. It's especially with old COVID and all that sort of business having happened. Kind of made me sort of realise the value of family, in a sense. Family. So if we put both of them there. Well, if I'm... No, I need to be able to access that, don't I? Family. Want to see the grandkids as well. Oh, right. Are they the sort of grandparents who fill the kids with sweets and let you deal with the consequences, or? My dad's a bit chronic with my nephew. Basically, just lets him get away with bloody murder, just continuously. So if that's... Don't reach, does it? Okay. Okay, game, have it your way. So you were streaming art the other day. Dropped in for the last 5 minutes. I don't know if you're aware, but there wasn't any audio, game audio. I was going to say something, but you finished before right? Because I was sorting out my own stream, so I was like, I'll let him know about the audio, and then you were done. So that's iron plate, and that's being grabbed by all of those. This is the coal line, which is then making its way out. This then should be combined iron plate. Yeah. Why is that underground? Doesn't need to be anymore. Okay, so what we need is that copper. That's copper, isn't it? Could I do something funky with copper? Because we need sort of copper going the other way as well. I could always flip it round the belt and move it over slightly. That might be an easier way of doing it. So if I have the copper coming that way rather than that way, that probably makes a lot more sense. Because that's the output, so it doesn't even need to be that length. Sometimes I scream today, yeah. I'll show you, mate, what I was doing on Arc at the moment. I did delete it after because it wasn't streaming stuff. Okay. Yeah, so we'll move this over, and then I can put the copper here and send it sort of that way. Don't think this is going to be sort of supportable. I don't think it's quite enough sort of production, really. Probably need a bigger one for this, I think. Why is that belt there? So if this is then copper that way, and then so that's coal. So we could have a splitter there. Oh, that was the belt for that, wasn't it? There we go. So then that's a splitter there, like that. Powerhouse in the way. Doesn't. Oh, that's annoying. How about I just move all of that up one? I can weave it round. You didn't hear my squeaky voice, did you? I did, actually. I wouldn't consider you squeaky. Actually, because I say you literally ended like 2 minutes after I started watching. So I did the wind back, and because I didn't, I say it was obviously you turned the audio off halfway through, sort of thing. But yeah, I wouldn't. Your voice isn't bad, mate. It's not. It's not as squeaky as you seem to think it is. So what I really need, I guess, is just about there. Is a couple of lanes of copper, or sort of as much as we can get in the gap. So let's tidy that up a little bit. No, because that's coal, so that's ready to rumble. And we can join. I mean, this I could bring, because I'm going to need more coal. Oh, there's different split of coal anyway. So this could be the coal for this copper. What we could do like a miniature version of my other So if I just grab that, because that then is coal, sorted for them. That's copper. We could have. What would be the point in that? There'd be no point in that. But we can have more copper there. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16, 24. So that's only half a lane of copper. This is sort of the problem, I think. I think this is too constrained for the thing, or... Because trouble with this is... I already know I can't fit the power poles in if I do that. And power everything. But I could do the. I mean, these don't have to have, you know, middle power poles like I normally do. So that'll squeeze in a few more. Well, let's get rid of that. So I do. That. Oops. Gonna have to do old school. I really hate old school power poles. I call them old school because I just don't like them very much. Like this way of doing it. And then it's that one, isn't it? And then there. Why are you blinking and flashing? Covers there, covers there, covers there. Cool. And then that's there. I'll put that one in, but don't need those power poles. I don't think. And then power poles there. Wait, can I flip that? No. That's better. So that's all copper then. How many's in there now? 24 still. Is this my starter-based blueprint design? Yeah, so basically yesterday, I'll run through them actually. I mean, it's 10 to 6. I'm almost done really, but for today. Yesterday I basically put together. Yeah, it's just do a run through basically. Because I think this isn't going to work in quotes. I think it needs to be bigger. What I was hoping is I would have two that were the same size, but I think it needs more. The copper's going to be fine here, but I need a whole load for the circuits. And probably need more circuits than that. You know, so I think it needs to be a wider version, basically. It's probably two of these wide. I'm almost thinking these, you know, the old city blocks that I know you're a fan of. This is almost like that. They're not really, but, you know, it's that sort of idea. That's a point, actually. I never thought about that. I could stick in some roboports, couldn't I? We could have like a place for roboports, and then it has more longevity. Oh, I never thought about that. Because the whole thing could easily be covered by just a single roboport. But it's where would I put it now? I guess the radar that I was sticking in, you know, just to cover it, is in the perfect place, isn't it? Yeah, anyway, sorry. So yesterday, basically, so I've got that, which is just, to some extent, some of this is a bit noddy. It's a bit pointless, but, oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Where's the starter one? There you go. So there's your, setup of coal drills. Obviously, I'm in creative mode at the moment. And then you've got this, which is like a Kickstarter stone. The idea being, you fill it in again and again as you tech up. So you haven't got, obviously, stone walls to start with, but you've got something, and you haven't got assemblers basically. So, but you can always plop. It lets you plop the ghost down even if you haven't got the stuff or the recipe. But then this is your sort of starter stone, so it makes raw stone for you, so you can handcraft your first few things, and then get that whole process kick-started. Makes you a few walls, blah blah blah, and then you've got just a little smelting, tiny little burner smelter array. As you know, I hate the burner face, so it's tiny. But, gets you plenty of them. Then we've got this, which is a Kickstarter coal power. Let's get rid of that. Basically, where's my pumps? There's my pumps. So, get your coal up and running. Just connect it up to some water. So it's got some chests for you to put coal in, obviously, to start with. But then you get rid of that when you've made some stuff. And you've got a tileable chunk of things, and you can obviously either flip that or rotate it. It's both rotationally and whatever it's called, symmetrical. So you can just put it on both sides. You obviously have to put the belt in. It doesn't include the belt, but that's so you can flip it in any direction that you want, and it's all good. So there's your initial power setup, and as big as you want, sort of thing. Then there's this, so that you can keep this and basically use it to burn wood when you get to that stage of the game. So you can stick that in there, and these just request up wood, and coal as well, spare coal, if you want that. And then we got, so this is the starter science. This gets you through your looks like a cool design. Thank you very much. Tidy. Yeah, what I was sort of going for was sort of a, I'm not going to sort of reinvent the wheel in a sense. It's sort of, that's normally how I do power. But it's just making it, it's the whole thing of putting it into a blueprint book that, I can just keep using again and again rather than redesign it every time. So this is your very, very starter power. So basically, starter science. Obviously, you would plop this down. You'd have to hand make your first 10, but then you, once you've got automation, you can put that together. Then you can double it up so that you can do red science at a reasonable sort of rate. Also gives you a few cogs for personal usage. Then there's this, if you feel like defending it, or you're on a death world, I guess, or something, or you've angered the natives. You've got that then, which has got some turrets on it and walls, etc. But otherwise you can just skip to that one, which is your green science as well. So basically that then, it's not quick, it's not speedy, it's not high production or anything like that, but you could use it to get up to red and green, get all the way through red and green, or as many as you want. Also then did some defences, so these are just little pillboxes, just a turret in some walls for you to plop down as needed. You've got your electric mining drill blueprint, that one there. That's your regular version. And then you've got your version with speed modules in. And then the two balancers that I know how to make. I did download the book again for all the balancers. Then the smelting. I'm not massively happy with the smelting, but there's your basic array. I've gone with my usual idea that basically, well, I'll show you all of them. So you got this one there. The idea is you share the coal basically, so it tiles that way, and then you tech up through the things, and it's replaceable. So really, I should have upgrade blueprints, but if you decided to do steel instead straight away, this gives you the steel blueprints. But basically, because you can just drop and replace, so you can upgrade that no problem. And then all you have to do basically is upgrade those 2 belts there. The coal's on the outside, so, and it only needs to be yellow belt. You know, it doesn't need to be red. So you can do that manually or with bots, or, you know, if you've. What I was thinking is, you maybe put down the stone ones, and it's just one of each. You know, it's 1 iron, 1 copper, 1 stone or something. And then when you extend it, you're into steel production maybe. But we've then got the electric furnace version. So this is where I become unhappy with what I've done. Because in this one, I'm swapping into... So you'd basically need to pick up virtually all of this. You'd have to get rid of all of that. All of the inserters. The coal line... So it all has to go, and you have to put the electric furnaces on, but you also have to put the medium power poles, because I figured that was probably a more appropriate tech. But then when you get your beacons, because these have a single level 1 prod module in, and then when you get your beacons in, your beaconed version, it tiles on top, it's fine, but basically you then have to, because what you get that effect where you get more out of it than you're putting in with the prod modules, because you're at level, these are level 3 prod modules, and these are only level 1, so, I mean, ignore the things there, but basically the speed cost to these is such that it doesn't quite fill the belt, but it's not far off, sort of thing. And you could always put the beacons in yourself, sort of thing, at level 1 maybe. I say it's where I get unhappy with the whole design I've done. But this is the excess. So basically, because with level 3 of everything, you get more out, so you can hive this off, and effectively you get sort of 5. Basically about 5 belts worth out of it instead of 4, 4 input. So yeah, I'm not massively happy with those, versions. It's not, this is a massively complicated upgrade from the steel to the electric, and it's like, well, it's such a big upgrade, it's not really saving any time. Yeah, so say the space is so that you can put the electric furnaces in. What it really should be is, because basically the problem is I then go to substations. So you've done a complete replacement. I mean, you want to get rid of your wooden power poles anyway, because they're naff, but they're in the way, sort of thing. And the way I do these designs, it's always to try and minimise the number of power poles. That's why I do it as I do it. But then you're doing a completely different design for the mediums. So what I should have done, really, is either stuck with mediums for this, because I could have just put them on the outside. But the trouble is, I obviously initially did the full line, and then I did all the maths. And actually, there's not any real point to that. So all the times I've played it through and just stuck a million beacons in, it doesn't really help you. It's sort of counterproductive in a sense, because you don't need it, sort of thing, basically, because it's not getting you that much more stuff, but it's costing you a huge amount of power and blah blah blah. But basically, because you could leave the medium power poles in there, but I've then decided to go with substations. It's because I did it in reverse, basically. I did that one first, and then these. But it's like I've left the gap there, because I thought I say, if you do this with maximum beacons, you get way more out, so you need several lines, which is why I've left all that room. But then I was like, well, you could just do enough to make a little bit more, sort of thing. Yeah. So yeah, so not massively happy with that design. I mean, it works. It's just, you know, it's not quite. Doesn't feel optimized really. And then got some defences. So we've got basic wall there. Tiles at the maximum length of the small power pole. And then you can, if that turns out to be a good permanent-ish defence, you can upgrade it. Or it needs more walls and gives you a little runway. If you're getting heavy attacks, you're going to need a bit of a runway to, I figure, to get down there and fill it up with ammo and bolster the wall. You then got the diagonal version, like that. And again, an upgrade bump for that one, like so. And then if you just wanted to do a regular corner, we've got regular corner there. And the upgrade for that one. And it all ties together, so you can then... well, I guess you could put the diagonal on, but you can then do that. Like that, and wall yourself in if you so desire. Like that. Other way. Over there, maybe. Get me diagonally in. Alright, there we go. So yeah, so you know, it's just a sort of tileable defensive system that has some extension. And then what I've done today, and it's all I've done, because it's taken a while, is basically build this, which is the Kickstarter base. So the idea is that you would use this to make all the stuff or to get you up and running. And what I've not quite finished is the actual... So this takes feed-ins of, you know, iron plate, both stone and stone brick, copper, you know, coal, green circuits and steel. So I need to make them now. So I'm thinking, as I say, my thought process is, this is your make the bits, and then this is your, it'll produce a basic amount of stuff to enable you to make the things, or you've got the option of putting the full-on smelting arrays in. You know, up to you sort of thing. But the idea is this would make the things that would allow you to do the smelting array. Because I kind of figure this makes a car, basically. So, you know, it's got engines in it. So you could make a car, and then you could go out for an explore. And it's got a little chest there with some coal in for you to use to power it. And you can go out for a bit of an explore. Obviously, I've got creative mode on, and I've revealed the map, but that would then allow you to explore and find, right, well, where do I want to put my bus? Because it's going to be a bus type base, because that's what I'm most comfortable with. You know, do I put it along there? Do I put it along there? Where do I put the smelting? Where do I put the trains? All that sort of stuff. So you would then have the opportunity, while it's making all your things, to go out and explore and work all that out. Find find the enemies, wipe out any ones you need to, etc., etc. So yeah, so what we didn't quite get done today was the actual smelting production side of it. Well, there you go. An internal corner and an external one. No. Well, yes and no. They should tile. I haven't done a specific corner. It's not actually a corner. It's diagonal, so it should tile into place. So if you were doing that, then you should be able to put both that on. Oh no, that's not going to work, is it? Because there's no power pole. So you would need... Yeah, so no, it's an external corner. That's a point. Actually, I didn't think about that. So yeah, that's missing then, isn't it, really? Because you can't, I mean, you can tile it this... I mean, if it's an internal corner, you kind of don't need to bother. Because you're getting automatically more defensive coverage. I wonder if you could... So if that was there... Yeah, so that's a bit naff. So yeah, really it should have an internal corner. But no, I was thinking, because I tend to avoid doing, you know, right angle corners, because you get a sort of a concentrating effect to the biters. So effectively any biters coming in, you know, in that direction, it's effectively they're concentrating their attack on a less well defended part of the system. You know, obviously you got a lot of turrets here, but you probably wouldn't be laying it down every one. You'd probably be skipping them, I would have thought, initially, because it's an awful lot of turrets to make. Even though I've built it so that you can, you know, you'd probably just skip the odd one. So yeah, so there's like less protection effectively there, because you get much more mutual overlap, especially if you have the full row. So I tend to avoid the corners, but yeah, it's not. It's I should really have a internal corner of some description. I say these, you can tile these together, no problem. You know, like that, which is how I would normally try and do it. That's a point. I might think about adding that one on then. But yeah, yeah. I don't need to follow this. I mean, the plan for the series basically is what I'm going to do. The seed for this is just like the numbers. So, oh, I'm right in the way for that. That's the point. I wonder. Whenever I've done commands, nobody's been able to see them then, have they? But basically, because that's right in the corner and I'm right in the way. Yeah, chair's in the way. But it's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 is the seed for the map. And basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a playthrough. So a testing playthrough. So, you know, I want to get this all designed. We'll probably continue this one next week, or I might do one of each, because I'm still continuing the aesthetic series. But maybe we'll do one of each, and then the week after I could maybe do a test run, so that basically, you know, I'll take these blueprints and try and actually play the game and see how well they work and what's missing and what's bad and what's wrong. So yeah, and we'll see. I'll see how well it works, and then if it's rubbish, I can refine it. If it's okay, so it occurs to me that sticking a RoboPort in it here would be very sensible, because then I can basically... Obviously it's not great just having one RoboPort, but it gives you access... I always forget where they are. You know, you can just do a find and replace, and cover all of the boxes. It probably need to be a slight tweak of position, because it doesn't quite cover them. But yeah, you could sort that out, no problem, couldn't you? Yeah, anyway, so I've run on a bit. But yeah, that's it for today. In fact, actually, let's give I was fiddling about this morning and trying to be all fancy and a proper streamer and stuff. And I put together this. Can you hear me? Is my thing coming through? There you go. So basically, this is to remind me of all the stuff. Cover all the stuff for when I forget it, basically. So this is my schedule. Currently streaming Dice Sphere program and on Fridays and Mondays. and Factorio at the weekend. I say the Blueprint series this weekend, kickstarting that. And you can find me on Twitch, YouTube, or Twitter. It's always Trismegistus, but on those two, it's alias to Triggles. Yeah, so there we go. Thank you very much, Grim. Yeah, so I say I've been. If you've been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it. You might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.